It makes you slow down quite a bit offensively. I'm going to get into some drill work now with our offensive line that we put together. We'll go ahead and get in that. Offensive line play, winning in the trenches. I've coached offensive line for 23 years. That's all I've ever done as a coach. And being the head coach, I want to be in control of the offensive line. So I coach all 5 of those guys. I think that's really important. You got to have a good O-line coach and a dang good secondary coach. Those are 2 things that are really important. So I like doing offensive line. I like being a part, with a group of kids, coaching them instead of just kind of walking around the field, not coaching anything. So I coach the offensive line. One thing that I really stress to them is to play nasty and coach effort, finishing blocks. We've got really nice young men at our school. They're great kids, but you got to really get them to flip the switch. When they get on the field, I think that's real important that you're coaching finishing blocks and you're coaching playing with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, but playing clean and being a good sport. Technique, we're going to work that daily, and that's in the summer. They know here are the 4 or 5 drills I want you to do. Here's stuff that we can do now. We can work with our guys in the summer a little bit, so we'll start doing some drill work with them once we get a month into the strength camp and start putting our technique together. Communicate, got to stay on the same page. All 5 of you have to be on the same page. That's something we really stress to them. So every play you're talking and saying something, and everything goes from the center out. Okay, so we don't need a tackle telling us what defense it is, because I've had that before too. We need the center to get up, recognize the defense, and call that out, and then we go off of the center. So the center is kind of the leader of our offensive line. We're going to chart pancakes and knockdowns. Used to be really good at that. Don't keep up with it as much as I need to now, but if you make a big deal of it and chart it, they're going to run in there Saturday morning and see who had the most pancakes. Or, hey, coach, look at play 42. That's a pancake. No, that's a knockdown. But they're taking pride in that. And that's the thing that I want them to do, because they're not going to get their name in the paper, but they take pride in their pancakes and knockdowns. And we've even gone to as far as, pour syrup and some of the freshmen that we have. We'll break out the syrup on them. O-line breakfast club, group chats, make it fun. So I really stress to the offensive linemen, you guys go eat together. And go to the movies together, hang out together. And that's something on Thursdays. I think some of our guys try to go eat breakfast together. I think that's really important to where they feel important, and it's a fraternity, and it's a group that they want to be a part of. Because nobody that I've ever met really wants to be an offensive lineman. They come to your camps and all that good stuff, and what do you play? I play quarterback. Okay, well, you're 6'3", 240 pounds. We got to figure something out here. But it's something we try to make a big deal out of, and we call them hogs. And HFL is something that a young man came up with about 10 years ago, and it's kind of stuck. It's hogs for life, and that's just something they take pride in. So we're going to get into some of our drill work here, and this is something I call duck power kick. All right, so they're going to duck walk 5 yards to the cone. Okay, they're going to power step. Okay, which is like a shuffle for us. And then they're going to kick. But go back on that. One thing that's real important is when they kick, I like this drill, I can see them from behind, and I can see if they turn their shoulders. So he punches. He does a pretty good job there of kicking. I'd like to see him a little lower when he shuffles on his power step, but I can see if they turn their shoulders, because I don't want that. I want them square. Always square to the defender, okay? And the next guy gets the ball, we move around. We do a lot of stuff with med balls. He's too high. He's got to get lower. I think I probably told him that. He sunk down. I'd like to see him punch and extend his punch, and then he's also got to get lower on his kick. But we're putting 80% of our weight on our inside leg. So we'll go both ways with it. We'll put the cone over here, and then we'll kick to our left as well, okay? So just really working a lot of punching. I like the med balls better than bags because the med balls are smaller. Okay, it's a smaller target. So I like using the med balls here. Okay, duck walk, punch, punch. Now watch him kick. Okay, he's turning a little bit. I want to see him more square. I want to see it square. Okay, kick. We call it kick and slide. He's going too fast. He's moving through it fast, and his heels are together. So it's nice to film this stuff because you can really see some different things off of this. Not bad there, okay? Pretty good job kicking, but look how he looks over his right. He's looking over his shoulder. We don't want that, okay? You're looking straight ahead. This next drill is NASCAR drill. Okay, we're on the boards here in the pipes, okay? I've used pipes ever since I was in college. I had a college coach. He used them daily, and that's who I got it from. So basically you go cut about 1.5 feet, 2 feet of pipes at Home Depot or Lowe's, all right, and then you bring it out here, and they got to step over the pipe. And what that does for our linemen, it makes them take a positive step. All right, so what I'll have the guys behind them standing there looking at their foot. Is he getting over the pipe? Is he getting his first 2 steps in the ground? That's really important, okay? If he's not getting that step, they will step on that pipe and they will slip, okay? So we have the pipes out here. We're zone stepping off the pipe. We're driving off the board. When they hear a whistle, I want an extra shove when they hear the whistle. So block through the whistle, and then they're going to sprint back and do it again. All right, so this is kind of working our tempo. Whistle, get back. Get back down. Here we go. We're running zone here. Get back down. All right, get off the ball. Punch. Get off the ball. Right tackle is a little bit slow off the ball there. He's got to come on. All right, so we go 4 in a row, and this really helps us with our tempo, and it keeps them in shape, and it's better than running 4 or 5 gassers after practice. I think they like doing this a little bit more. All right, we'll go to the next drill. This is the next group that's going. Big boy here does a pretty good job. Get back down, get back down. Okay, just teaching them to get back on the ball. I want to see them strike more. Some of our guys are just kind of putting their hands on the bag. I want to punch the bag. Okay, I don't want to catch. I want to try to punch, drive, extend, and I'm going to try to step on the defender's toes. Okay, that's what I try to teach. Roll your hips. Once you punch, I'm rolling my hips. I'm holding. My hands are inside. I'm rolling my hips pretty good by the center, and I'm trying to step on his toes. This is wax on, wax off, okay? We're going to drive. Then the next guy's going to knock his hands down. He's going to drive. So this is really working good hand relocation, making sure their hands are inside, and I'm making sure they're holding. I want to see them grabbing jersey. Okay, good offensive linemen hold. They hold inside, okay? They don't get their hands out wide. So drive, knocks them off. Drives on the board, knocks them off. Hands off, you can come up or down with it. But it's just a good way to look at their hand placement and see where they're at and see if they start getting high. They got to bend more. Okay, you don't want them up high. That's a younger lineman here. He's a little bit high, but I like how he's getting rid of his hands, coming up. Drop your hips back down, dig them back out. So everything we're doing is in a duck walk. Okay, everything we do is a duck walk. So we're constantly talking about stay low and duck walk. Okay, this is an outside zone drill here. And once again with the med ball, and I'm telling these defenders, get across his face. Get across his face. Okay, and I'm trying to take my backside hand and I'm trying to get through his inside breastplate. Okay, I tell them to aim. I want to aim for the armpit when we're running outside zone. And we teach bucket step, okay? I want to lose ground to gain ground. And we've always taught a bucket step, but this is just a good way to, put them in certain shades, head up or wide 5, and make these guys work, okay? No matter what position they're at, we're getting 2 reps here, and then I'll put them at linebacker depth, okay? So they'll get deeper and they'll start flowing, and I'll make them go either over the top or try to come underneath, but it just gets them used to taking these steps, used to moving around. He's kind of lazy with his hands here. I want to see him strike, okay? We'll go from linebacker depth, I think, on the next one. These are 2 freshman linemen. He's a little bit high. I like how he's punching, but he's a little high there. See how he stands up? This is pretty good here. He's down, he's keeping a base, and he's moving. So during these drills, it's important to make them go for a little bit, because if I just blow the whistle real quick, they're going to stop, and they're going to get trained to stopping. So I want them to run them a little bit. And this is good conditioning. Outside zone linebacker depth, okay? So I'll tell the linebackers, you're either over the top or you're coming underneath. You can go one or the other, okay? But what I like about this is he's going to bucket step. He has no idea what he's going to do, okay? So we'll see what happens here. But, I need more effort from the defensive guy a little bit on that, being able to move, but try to backdoor him or just run over the top of him. But it gets them moving in space, and it makes them work a little bit. Just like this here. He tried to backdoor him here. He stopped, planted, and drove. Kept his feet active. Yeah, we got to do a little better job here on the defensive guys. Okay, this is push-pull. All right, push-pull drill. Okay, so I got one guy pulling, one guy pushing. Okay, so he's the back. If your back's to me, you're on offense. Okay, so he's pulling them and he's pushing them. Okay, obviously you can tell on the height, they're decent over here. I like how his steps are really short. See how he shortens his steps up when he's getting pulled. Okay, when he's getting pushed, he needs to anchor down. Okay, if he's getting bull rushed, we'll do the hop. Okay, and I'll teach that here in a second. But right here, that's not bad by this young lineman. Short steps, keeping his butt down. Once I get pulled, my head comes back and I'm fighting against the pull. All right. And then we'll start getting, this is a good taxing drill for their legs. And now we do bull rush, and we're going to put our hands behind our back. Okay. Hands behind our back. They're going to bull rush me. I'm going to take 2 to 3 hops. I'm going to chop his hands and relocate my hands. Okay. And it's amazing. You do these drills a little bit, you'll get in a game and see one of them do it. And then you're excited. You're fired up because you're like, hey, it's translating. The drill's carrying over to the game. But see how he's hopping, hands off. I like to see us get them off quick. Hop, 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 chop. Relocate your hands. Sink your hips. It feels a little uncomfortable because they have their hands behind their back, but it makes them feel that bull rush and keeping that head back. Because there are times, man, you can't get your punch in quick enough, and there's times when you play a guy that gets his hands on you and you got to come up with something. You got to get rid of his hands. You got to hop back. Just hop, hop, chop, relocate. All right. Same thing here. I like the way he's doing this here. He's gotten bull rushed. He's hopping. He's chopping. He's relocating his hands. Good job there. And this is stuff we can do in the weight room. They're done lifting. Hey, guys, go do the bull rush drill. Go do this drill. And, you get leaders on your team that take charge of this. And that's what's nice. I don't always have to be out there with them. They know how to do these drills. All right. This is combo drills. So we're working double teams here. Okay, and we work a lot of this. I work a ton of 2-on-2 blocking during my individual time. So an O-line coach could take an hour of individual and they'd love it, right? We get about 20 minutes and, we got to be what player we focused on today and where we want to go with it and how we're going to work these drills. So it doesn't do any good if I'm working a lot of zone, one day and we're working power that day. So if we're doing power and that's our first day of install, okay, in August, then we're going to work the heck out of power. And I'm going to start working power quite a bit in the summer. And so to get them recognizing an even front right here, making their calls that they need to make, okay, and then working double teams to the backside linebacker, and then throwing the center in here. Sometimes I'll put a board here for the center, but here we're going hip to hip with our double team, okay, and we want to get off the ball. And the main thing is I want that guard to step with his inside foot, and right there, he doesn't do it. So right now I can go back and coach him and say, you didn't step with your inside foot. You need to come directly through the midline of the defensive tackle, okay, right through him. And the tackle can get his hips in there and work the double with you and press it into the backer, okay? 3 things linebackers are going to do. They're either going to blitz, they're going to flow over the top, okay, or they're going to slow play, all right? If they slow play it, we're going to double into the backer. That's not bad by him. I'd like to see him a little more aggressive with his arm coming through the defender. We call it a flipper, coming through the defender, but I like where their eyes are. If he flows over the top, keep pressing into him. Yes, that's what we want. Hip to hip. That's pretty good. 2 young linemen here. He's a little high, though. See how high he is? We want him down, hip to hip, okay? He needs to step with his inside foot. That's big. All right, and the reason why I say that, if you step with your outside foot and I get my second step in the ground and he slants, I'll never block him. Okay, so I want to step with my inside foot, second step in the ground, and if he slants, I can push off that foot, my outside foot, and block him. So it's just a drill we do. We'll also work zone. We'll work stretch with it. We'll work power. This is 3-hitter, and this is basically timing a punch. Okay, obviously when we punch a guy in a game, we're locked up with him. I'm going to punch him. Okay, I'm not going to extend all the way out, but I'm going to punch and get locked in. Okay, if I extend out, I'm going to start doing this. So I want to get locked in with them. I'm going to strike the bag, and this is just working the timing of it. We're going to punch. It's called 3-hitter. The defensive guy is going to move around, and I've got to mirror him and stay in front of him, okay? But this is just good for timing. And I'll tell them, whatever position you put him where you want him. If you want him out wide, you're a tackle with a wide 5, 9, put him out wide. So now you got a kick slide, and you got to work this stuff. We're a little late on the punch. I'd like to see it in a little quicker. Hands are up, right? Boom. I mean, you're striking. You don't want the defender on you. I want to go ahead and strike a little earlier. And this is a good way for you to coach it and look at it and go, okay, are we punching on time? Are we late? And really breaking down their pass pro. He kind of hops over. You know, you can look at their heels. Are their feet getting close together? This is a good set right here for a young guy. But I'm watching their feet. Do they have a base? Where's the weight distributed? It should be on the inside foot. And then depending on their alignment, how much do I need to kick? And I'll ask a kid in practice, where do you need to kick? How many? Half. Okay, good. Why? Because he's tight. Very good. How many? 2. Why? Because he's wider. And just getting them to, to think like that in games really helps. He kind of uncoils on that last hit. Go back on that. Pretty good strike there. Comes back inside. Good punch there. And then this last one, he kind of gets over his feet a little bit. So that's just something we coach him on. Keeping your weight on inside of your legs. This is walk the line. Okay, do this a lot. Timing, his punch isn't violent. I need a violent punch. I mean, boom, I'm really hitting hard. That's pretty good. Okay, but see, why I like this drill is I can see, are they going over the line or are they staying down the line? Because if they're going over the line, that means that they're leaning forward. And I don't want them leaning at all. Okay, this is one from the knee here that we've done. We do this in the weight room some. I'll do it on the field as well. We'll do it on a med ball as well. But I really want to get force in this outside foot and stick it in the ground and get my foot over the pipe. You see the pipe here? So I'm pushing off the ball of the instep of my foot and just getting kids to feel that. Feel what that's about. Once again with the med balls, and we're throwing it into the wall. Okay, I like to see his elbows in though. His elbows get out here. You're not as powerful here as you are here. Okay, this is another drill I'll do with the kids. They like it. It's fun because they'll fall and mess around and slip. But you got to keep your core tight, and you got to punch the med ball kneeling on the physio ball. So it really helps you keep your core tight. He's struggling with it a little bit, but it's really good keeping that chest up. Now this guy, he has a lot of trouble with this, but it's good. Okay, and we'll go back and, I'll say keep your feet on the ground if you need it on the ground. That's fine. But then, a week or two in it, they get really good at it. And you're still working the punch. I mean, you can't punch enough. All right, we'll go to the next one here. This is just hip flexibility. I think to be a great offensive lineman, you got to have really good hips. That's the first thing I try to teach and coach is I want to be able to see you squat with your feet on the ground as low as you can get, okay? And wide grip, this is a good way to do it, the PVC pipe. Go really wide grip, watch their feet, okay? Toes should be slightly out, okay? And just see how deep they can get. I think that's important, being a good offensive lineman. And if your hips are a little tight, we just keep doing this drill. You don't need a lot of weight on a bar, okay? All we do is a PVC pipe, but I want to see them drop their hips as low as they can to the ground and come up. And that's just a good way, along with hurdles. You can do different things. This is just really easy drill to put in play here. All right. Okay, this is duck walk with a plate. They don't like this because it's hard, but you're duck walking. You got a plate inside, and you're strengthening your hips. Okay, I want to try to strengthen your hips. And so this drill here is for that. See, he's pretty low here, which I like. He's a little high. Back end, but he's down pretty good, but we're just working duck walk back and forth. We'll duck walk down the field, we'll go down 50 yards and back, and I make them take 6-inch steps. They can only go 6 inches with their steps, so they can't get real big with the duck walk. It's got to be short and it's got to be choppy. Another punch drill, just laying on your back now, but your elbows are in tight. I'm striking, my thumbs are up, okay, and I'm striking with the butt of my hand. Okay, that's important too. All right, you want to strike with the butt of your hand on the med ball so I can see this and see if they're doing that. All right. This is back to walk the line here. Okay, he's going down the line here, punching. All right, then we'll have him go down and go the other direction. But one thing I'm noticing with him is his feet are a little bit, they're getting pretty close. So you want to keep the base. That's pretty good right there. And then I can speed up the defender if we want. So, we can get this guy going faster. All right, if you keep going, we'll get he'll run down. I think that's that one before. Yep. Okay, this is walk the line. Now he's going both ways with it. Now, we'll do it with the med ball some. I'll also do it with the shoulder. We're just walking, and then we'll lean, okay, and hitting that shoulder. When he leans forward, brings in the ball, he's going to punch. I'm looking at their eyes. You'd be surprised. Some are looking at the ground. Some aren't looking at the ball. I really watch where their eyes. I want it to be on the inside number of the defender. This is a defensive player. He came over, wanted to do a few drills, but you can see here how he leans. He leans forward a lot. So if I'm a defensive line coach, I'm going to say pull him. Okay, this is really good. I like it. Everything's in tight. I'm sitting down, okay? I've got the med ball in my hands, and I've got the defender hitting the med ball, and I'm just trying to hold on to this med ball by keeping a good posture too. Don't lean, okay? He's leaning a little. That's better right there. All right, but he's really swatting at the med ball and just making him move his feet, mirror him. The elbows are in, okay? He kind of pulled his head back there. That's good. But you can see if they lean on it or if they're staying sitting down. This is stretch drill. It's kind of different. It's a drone look here, but basically we're one-on-one. So I'm lined up. I got a guy over me. I'm running stretch right. He's running stretch left. And we're both trying to get to the point of attack after our bucket steps and run our feet. So you're both on offense. And I really like this drill. We do this once a week. Notice how he's catching. But we do this once a week, and it kind of makes them compete. Who can get to the point of attack first, right? Who can get there first? And I can also see, are they taking a bucket step? Are they taking the right steps? Are they driving their hips to the defender? Because what I'll tell our guys, when you bucket step and I come and I'm punching that outside shoulder, I've got to get my belly upfield. Okay, if I don't get my belly upfield, they're going to string it out. And the back will cut off of that. But once I step and punch, once I turn my belly and get it upfield, I get the defender to turn. And that's what I want. So belly upfield is really important. Then we'll do it from a lock position. Okay, they're kind of shuffling. I want to see them move their feet and gain ground. That's pretty good. It's not bad. He's straining. That's what we want. We want you to strain. But, here some of them are just kind of going lateral. I want to see belly upfield. See how he uses his hands and reaches them. He gets strong with his outside arm. This is stance and start. We do this every day. Very repetitive. But to me, you have to do stance and start every day, going over it 5 minutes. The guys typically do this before practice. So when we're doing some special team stuff, we'll have the guys over here working stance and start. I'll take my center, leader of the team, say, hey, take them through stance and start. Okay, I'm looking at their eyes. Are they looking up? Are they looking down? Are they taking the right steps? Because it all starts with your stance, right? And so we try to teach this every day. We go through this to where it becomes a habit. So we'll go right foot lead, left foot lead. You can also tempo this if you want. Give me 3 rights. They get back down, they go 3, 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Right here, we're just kind of going through it. I can see if they're stepping, 6-inch step, and I want to get my second step in the ground when we do 2. And you should hear it, boom, boom, on the field, boom, boom. I got to get my second step in the ground. And I'm also looking at their shoulders. Are they square when they zone step? Or are they turning? That's important too. So we really go through this. Right now they're taking zone steps. I can see if someone overextends at all, too big of a step, not enough steps. It's really good for that. So we just go through that. All right. Now we're taking 2 steps. Notice how he turned a little. I don't want him turning. I just stick. Okay, it's in the ground. Shoulders are square. Never turn my shoulders. And I don't want you hopping out of your stance. I want you pounding the ground. 1, 2. Don't hop. I also tell our offensive linemen, now we're duck walking, I tell our O-linemen, I want the guard's helmet on the butt of the center. I want distance from the defensive lineman. A lot of D-line coaches say, I want to crowd the ball. I want distance from you. So I look at that as well. The center lines up, are the guards' helmets on the hip of the center. and then the tackles are even with the guards. So this is just duck walk. Now we do a pull to the right. I want to see if they're taking a positive step. Are they stepping over the line? Okay, you're going to notice this young man coming up here in a minute does not step over the line. But we want to take a positive step. That's good by the tackle here. This younger guy here does not step, and that's something I can go back and coach him on. See how he just pivoted on his right foot? We want you stepping over to take a positive step, no negative steps. This is push-pull drill, just a different version with the PVC pipe, okay? But I'm fighting. See how he gets pulled a little bit? You got to sit back more and really keep your hands inside, okay? So it's pretty much how you're blocking a guy. That's why I like this drill. I don't want to extend too much out, though. All right, next one. This is PVC pipe with a kick. All right, I like this a lot because it teaches them to keep their shoulders square, okay? And I can see how much weight. He's not distributing a lot of weight on his inside foot. He needs to put more weight on his inside foot so he can kick quicker. He's not, you know what I mean? He's got to kick faster. And his foot's a little high on the back part of his kick. We don't want your foot up really high, okay? But this is good for your shoulders staying square, watching them kick. All right. Double team, this is fitted. So I'm going to put a little bag or something in between them, okay? We have this in the weight room. I don't even know what it's for. I guess kneeling on it or whatever. Kids doing different exercises. But we stick it in there, and I say, you cannot let this go. Don't let that hit the floor. So they really get used to getting those hips pinned together, really sticking those hips together, working their double. Make it a competition. It's kind of fun. Hits the ground, you know, throwing some push-ups or something, but they're working those hips together. That should not come onto the floor. If they're apart, it's going to start going down like it does here a little bit. Same thing, zone from the knee. Okay, we'll skip that. We've already seen that. Pushing off the foot. Same thing. Now he's pushing off his right leg. And the second step in the ground. So the more that I can get my second step in the ground, the more power I'm going to generate from the ground. I want to get that second step in the ground. This is another form of mirror drill. I just got their hands behind their back, but they're run blocking, and I'm looking at his feet. His toes are out. Okay, we don't want his toes out. I almost want you pigeon-toed. Okay, but it's just a nice way to mirror and see if they can mirror each other and stay on your block. Okay, and seeing if his hips are down. All right, next one. Okay, I'll put an arrow here because he's just too high on his kick. All right, he's way too high. All right, he's playing on one leg pretty much. So he wants to get that in the ground a lot quicker. He pushes off and comes back down pretty good, but his back kick is too high. All right. That's not bad there. That's not bad at all. That's one of those deals where I really like that drill because it's easy and you can do it, like I said, in the weight room. All these drills you can really do in the weight room after workout. You know, you take 4 or 5 of those drills in 15 minutes, something like that, and the kids are getting better and they're getting, improving their skills. That's it for me. I would like to thank the Glacier Clinic and Alan Means, and I really appreciated talking to you guys. And I'd also like to thank Patrick Radigan, who's here with me, one of our coaches here doing a lot of our video stuff, also coaches the tight ends. And we will see you next time. Thanks.